Good evening and welcome to The 7. New coronavirus cases in Scotland have surged to 714 over the last 24 hours. That's an increase of 28% on yesterday's figures. Despite the rise, there were no new deaths recorded. But across the UK, there have been 642 new cases. That's down 19% on yesterday's figures, but 34 deaths have been recorded. Worldwide, the death total is rapidly approaching 1 million. Now, much of the focus this week has been on outbreaks at student halls. This weekend, students were asked to stay away from bars and restaurants, and that was on top of a new 10 p.m. hospitality curfew for all of us. Despite that, police were called to a number of parties at student residences in Edinburgh last night. David Cowan has this report. COVID outbreaks have occurred at universities in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen. People confined to their accommodation, sometimes with little support or provisions. Outbreaks have now also been reported at institutions in Manchester. The University of Glasgow has announced it will give a month's free rent to the 2,800 students living in their accommodation, along with £50 to spend on food. Well, earlier I spoke to the National Clinical Director, Jason Leach, and I began by asking him about the increase in infections. That was Jason Leach speaking to me a little earlier. Tributes are being paid to the police officer shot dead at a South London custody centre yesterday morning. A friend of Matt Ratana, who was 54 and on the brink of retirement, said he moved into working as a custody sergeant because he thought it was safer. An investigation is underway into how the handcuffed suspect, who was in hospital with a bullet wound, was able to conceal the weapon. Tom Simons reports.
The stream.
A look now at some of today's other stories. And police have clashed with demonstrators at a rally in London protesting the latest coronavirus restrictions. Officers and Sport, and Lewis Hamilton will start in pole position tomorrow at the Russian Grand Prix. The second Knockeries with a win this weekend. England's women cricket team have beaten the West Indies by 20 runs. It gives them an unbeatable 3-0 lead. Now, a leisurely cruise turned into quite the brush with nature for Scottish yachters when their boat was attacked by killer whales.
What's your forecast?
And that's where we leave it. Sports Scene is coming up next. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.